So New Day is in the ring celebrating, and Brock Lesnar's music plays, and he comes out with Paul Heyman. Kofi sends Big E and Xavier Woods out of the ring, and Heyman says that they stand in the way of the longevity of Kofi's title reign, and it's a bad day for the New Day. Yes, it is. Which Heyman said, I wish Lesnar had said. They issued the challenge to Kofi Kingston for a WWE Championship match Friday, October the 4th, on the Friday Night SmackDown premiere on Fox. Kofi accepts the challenge and for his efforts takes an F5 and is left laying as they have set up a very big match for the debut on Fox and Brock Lesnar's first match on WWE television since March of 2004.
And probably not that far from his first match on SmackDown. Or his last match on SmackDown, I mean.
That was a SmackDown match.
Oh.
So 15 years ago that he was on SmackDown the last time.
You know, it's a very big match to give away on TV. This was potentially a program that I think some of us wanted to see at a SummerSlam, maybe even potentially at a WrestleMania. But you can argue that this TV show coming up on that Friday is going to be more important than any pay-per-view that they're going to have this year. So I thought I agree. It was a good way to inform your audience about SmackDown's move to Fox on a Friday. And Heyman did a great job here. Not only did he, propose the match, but also specifically stated the date. This was really the first episode where we saw the hard push towards Fox. And, this was probably the best way that they could get that announcement out there.
Yeah, it's no secret. The Fox show is absolutely super important for them. I was told this idea with Lesnar was in the works for a long time. Like they've had this in mind for a long time at this point. So it wasn't a case of just oh shoot, we're on Fox in a couple of weeks, so let's come up with something. This had been thought out for quite some time, and they ended up going through with it. So it's a big deal having Brock Lesnar wrestle on TV. It's a match that I think a lot of people will be intrigued by, and I mean the importance of getting off to a strong foot on Fox greatly overshadows Hell in a Cell or any of the pay-per-views. So I thought this is a match to me that's going to have a lot of buzz attached to it. And I think that people will naturally believe that there's the chance that we could see a title change as well on this Fox debut.
If the goal is to maybe generate buzz to get people talking about, hey, this new edition of SmackDown that's on Fridays now on Fox, I would actually lean towards something like that. Just something to make headlines so that people are aware that this show is now on Fox on Fridays. And I think having Brock Lesnar really at this point, as far as, your active roster goes, if Cena's not available, if Ronda's not available, Brock is probably your most mainstream star. It makes perfect sense to me.
Could you see a scenario where Brock wins this title and they keep the titles to the WWE title stays on SmackDown and that locks in Lesnar on SmackDown?
Yes. But I mean, what does that mean? It's Brock Lesnar. So locked in, it means what? He'll show up once every 3 months?
I mean, who knows what this means? I mean, does this open the door that we could see the occasional Lesnar match a few times a year on Fox as something to build up to a big episode on Fox as opposed to on USA?
I feel like from what we've seen of the way that WWE treats anytime they go to a new station, there's a great deal of, I think, emphasis put on the first couple episodes, and then inevitably it'll kind of drift back to normal and we'll continue to get the status quo of. So I don't necessarily see them doing something like this again unless they're facing a really stiff competition and it's a really important week for them to get that number up. But I personally don't see it, but who knows what the game is going to be like. Maybe they'll be in a panic mode 6 months from now and they'll be facing another football game, and I don't know if football goes that long, but it doesn't, right? Football ends January.
February is
okay, whatever. Anyway, so I don't see it right now, but maybe, who knows if circumstances are dire, perhaps.
The timing is important too, because this is happening on October the 4th, and that next Saudi Arabia card is October 31st, and Lesnar's been on all of those cards. So You could also do something and come back with a rematch, whether it be Lesnar wins and Kofi gets a rematch in Saudi Arabia, but I would imagine Brock wrestling on that Saudi Arabia card a couple weeks after this.
For sure.
So I thought this was done really well, and I'm glad they did it now and not waiting another week. This gives you 2.5 weeks to really promote this, so I thought this was very effectively done.